Hey everybody, this is the Utah Outcasts. We are a very much uncensored and unabashedly atheist show coming at you from the great and spacious state of Utah via podcast and YouTube. We strive to bring you some entertaining news you missed, some fun with real audio, and oh so much more every week. For each topic that we find funny, infuriating, or just plain newsworthy, we make sure to consume each with as much skepticism and as much irreverence as legally allowed. The panel for this week's show is a return to my faithful panel of co-hosts, Kyle and Felicia Entwistle. Fancy meeting you guys here twice in one weekend. Yeah. It's like my marriage night all over again. I know. It's almost like I didn't just see you guys and record an episode for the patrons on Friday. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, no, that was some fun stuff right there.
Oh, hi guys, I'm X. I'll be your host this evening. So before we get started, I have to give our usual thanks and a greased up deaf guy loving hug to Robert Jones and Dan Ellis for being the sustaining members of the Utah Outcasts Patreon. But I'm going to towel off a little bit and give a sincere, real loving hug to one of the biggest fans out there of the show, Louis Cruz. I'm sorry, it could be Luis, but I'm not sure. So correct me, please. Who has joined the patron ranks. Thank you for your donations, everyone. We've got big things in store for it all. And while I'm filleting all of the other people who keep me going, I have to give the happiest ending to Danny Lopez, whose girth makes a stack of 70 Frisbees jealous. I hope that all four of these gentlemen enjoy the Kin Ham episode that we just put up. And next on the chopping block is Ray Comfort. So you might want to become a patron, at least the $3 level. And you're going to be able to hear all of our, hour-long briefs that we have on these people. For those of you that might be wondering what you can do to show the love for the show that we do lovingly craft for you guys each week without donating cash, all we ask is that if you would please give a few seconds of time in whatever application or platform that you use to catch us on, and just give us a rating or at the very least a subscribe. We're back up to 5 stars on iTunes. Yay! That one guy that gave us a 1 star doesn't count anymore because we got 16 other people who went, fuck you, it's a 5-star show. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it is. And share it with your friends too. That helps.
Yep, and you can always find us on
with your religious friends.
Yeah,
share it with everybody, whether or not they care.
Share it with everyone within reason, but then share it with your religious friends who you kind of don't really want to be friends with anymore, but they keep showing up, and you don't know how to be rude.
We recommend we recommend it for the company carpool.
You can always find us on Twitter and on Facebook. That's the two venues I spend the most time on. I'm working on doing more Instagram stuff and all the other kind of social media stuff out there. Just stay tuned. We've got stuff planned. Well, I'm going to make it work. Anyway, if you got a question, comment, anything like that, you can hit us up on our email address, which is mailbag@utahoutcast.com, or via our derp line, which is 347-669-3377. You can text or voicemail that one. So let's go ahead and get into our news you missed. And what a better way to start out our show each week than to nosedive directly into some news that the networks probably didn't pick up. Or if they did, they definitely didn't have our bias. So the first one we have up here is CNN asking potential presidential candidates with undeclared faiths if they believe in God.
Oh, really? Fucking hell.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we already know that what Trump is. He claims to be a religious person, even though he's doing it just to get the vote.
Yeah, we know what he claims, but...
Oh, I love that. My favorite one is what is it? What was the Bible book that he said? What's that?
Wasn't it? It's 2 Corinthians is what he said.
Yeah, 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians, yeah.
Whatever.
And I say presidential candidates, and I'm doing this with air quotes, really, because these guys are, in my opinion, aren't real candidates, because you have Gary Johnson and William Weld, who are the libertarian representatives, and they were on a CNN's Chris Cuomo town hall kind of thing, and someone was selected from the audience. Her name was Amanda Lindemann, a undecided voter from New York, asked Johnson, "Do you pray and do you believe in God?" And Johnson...
Same question. Fuck up.
Yeah.
Johnson didn't appear interested in the question, but he offered words he knew he had to say. I have to admit to praying once in a while, and yes, I do believe in God. And Cuomo didn't really... clearly think she should ask the presidential candidate the same question, put the litmus test to Weld, and said governor. And this guy he's like, same on both, same on both. That's his actual quote, same on both, twice. And so Cuomo didn't like that.
So that tells me that, no, none of them believe in God.
Yeah, Chris Cuomo.
That's still not allowed.
Wanted to pile on some more. He's like, what do you want people to know about you in terms of religion? I mean, first of all, what the fuck kind of question is that? You know? What do you want people to know about you in terms of religion? I go on Easter and Christmas.
I'm sorry, but the correct answer to that question is, I believe constitutionally speaking, there is no religious test.
Yeah.
For elected office.
Sorry. To continue his question, he says, I mean, is the answer it's none of your business, or do you go to church? Do you ascribe to a particular religious philosophy? Boy, that's just like saying, like, how deep is your wife? You know, that's just, like, you don't ask certain questions in polite fucking culture, people. And so Johnson replied, he said, I was raised a Christian. I do not attend church. And if there's one thing that I've taken away from Christianity, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Ugh, man, I hate that.
Except that didn't come from Christianity.
Nope.
That's
Robbie.
that came from just people living together in a space.
It's like one of the first moral things that anybody ever recorded ever. It's one of the first moral guidelines ever, which, as our listeners would have to know, predates the Bible by a lot.
Yeah,
by a lot.
Just,
a lot
I'm
of Christians
sorry.
like to act like the Bible was the first time there was any sort of moral code written down or something. No, fuck off.
No, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure parents with more than one kid laid that one down. Like, look, don't hit your brother.
Do you want him to hit you?
Don't.
Yeah.
Would you like it if he hit you? Really? Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It worked. My I was never never a physical, fighty kid, but my sister was. And so one night she kept coming in, and this is back when I was with the ex-husband. This is before we were even married. And we were living with my mom. And she kept coming in and smacking me on the back of the head and smacking him really hard on the back of the head. She was 14 and awful. And so she came in, smacked him on the back of the head, so I hit her as hard as I could in the back of the head. She'd done this 5 times to both of us, and we tried to be the bigger people, and it wasn't working. So she screams. She runs out, Mom, Felicia hit me really hard. And I go, well, Mom, she kept hitting Nick and I in the head really hard. And she goes, did you? She goes, yeah, but it was funny. She goes, what have I always told you? You hit somebody, you better be prepared to get hit back. And that was the end of that.
Chris Cuomo even piled on even further. He's like, why don't you go to church? He just keeps fucking doubling and tripling down on this shit. So Johnson's like, I don't, and then Cuomo says, I ask you as a suffering Catholic, the question just comes up. Okay, if your religion is that fucking painful to you, you can leave it, You can. It's really fucking easy. You just stop going on Sunday.
Isn't that what most Catholics do?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Have you ever?
I thought that was just Catholic.
That's what Mass is.
And the person that transcribed the whole interview process that happened here, and this came from the Friendly Atheist blog. He said, I usually try to cut out the uhs and ums and everything like that, but let's just make the case here. So Johnson was literally sputtering at this point. I'm just one of those, the God, that I speak to, is not, doesn't have a particular religion.
Atheist. He's an atheist. Or he's one of those, he's an atheist with the woo-woo nonsense. They exist.
Yeah.
And so, there was another interview for the Green Party candidates that happened on CNN, similar kind of event. And so Jasmine Rebadavia, an undecided second-grade teacher from New York City, asks Stein, do you currently believe in God, and could you tell us more about your personal journey in this area? Boy, I would just shine if someone asked me something like that. Do you currently believe in God?
Yeah.
Before they even finish the rest of the sentence, no. And could you tell us more about your personal journey in this area? I did believe. Now I don't. I grew up.
All right. Last tangent, but tonight was the Atheists of Utah night at Saturday's Voyeur. It's a local Salt Lake City parody play on Utah culture, religion, and politics. The name is a parody of the classic Mormon video movie Saturday's Warrior,
which was remade this last year.
That's so fucking awful.
We are going to watch it. That'll put that as a patron goal.
That's a cruel one. That's a cruel
line upon line, precept on precept.
They did sing a version, "Our God is an Awesome God," to Donald Trump as God, so that was horrible.
Wow.
That was tonight at Saturday's Voyeur. And,
Voyeur, yes.
So it was Atheist Night, right? The Atheists of Utah were there. And we had a party in the green room. So there's a part where they did a parody of Go Ask Alice, which great song, by the way.
Yeah.
And they get to the end and it says, "Remember what Nietzsche said? God is dead." And
no one cares.
You could find our people in that audience because we were like, yeah. Everyone else we're like, yeah, God is dead. Yeah.
I bet my coworker went to that. I'm sure she did. She goes to all the Saturday's Voyeurs.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. In the Jill Stein interview, so apparently this is Jill's answer to this. Jill Stein said, "Great. So I grew up a very religious person. I was probably the most religious person in my family. And I have actually brought traditional Jewish ritual into my family. Yay, because that's so much fun to be dour all the fucking time with your religion. Because I was so excited about what I was going on in my Reformed temple where I sang in the choir. And certainly my view of the world, I have to say, just grew out of the morality and the tales that I was learning from the Old Testament. Morality from the Old Testament. Fuck you, Jill Stein.
No. Can we just contrast those answers to the way Bernie Sanders answered that question?
And I think what did he say? His was like I believe that the fact that we all get along together is God or something like that. Yeah.
He said, "Oh, I'm not a very religious person, and I just live my life and with the basic philosophy that we should just try to be good to each other."
What does he said? Kindness is my religion, something like that.
Yeah. And
which is still a politician-y thing to say, but it's really pushing that barrier.
He really just kind of said, "Look, it really doesn't matter. Don't be a dick."
He did say that too. He did say that specifically, that there's not a religion test, and that's an irrelevant question.
Well, I'm going to get to the meat of what Jill said. Her main thing of her quote here is that I'm not going to leave all the uhs and ums out because that fucking drives me insane when people are answering questions and they leave just like I'm sure you guys probably don't hear it when I'm doing the show, but when I go back and listen to in the editing bay and I hear the fact that I come back from every segment with so we're back with this, so we're doing this, it's like verbal tics bug the shit out of me, especially when I start noticing them in myself. I hate that so bad.
Oh yeah. Well, everybody's got them. It's just the way it works.
So, what Jill Stein was saying is that I am not actively practicing my religion. I certainly have a very strong sense of our moral and human, what shall we say, fiber. Something that is spiritual, that is kind of beyond our actual grasp, that inspires me and gives me great faith in other people, and I'm making jack-off motions here, and our capacity to be more than the sum of our parts. So I don't fall in any particular religious box or conventional view. God damn it. Fuck you, Jill Stein.
God.
You know she believes in woo. She's a woo-woo.
Hans Bricks.
Well, yeah.
They bug the fucking just utterly bug the shit out of me. Like, there's a guy at work that's starting to push homeopathy around the office, and I'm like,
oh, fuck.
Oh, God.
Are you dumb? Are you fucking dumb?
Okay, see, religion pisses me off, but not all religion says don't get medical treatment, or they say it to varying degrees, right? Like, some obviously do. But then there's those woo-woo assholes who are actively preying on the desperate and the sick, and they are actively killing people. by telling them not to go to doctors. I actually have a friend recently. I'm so glad she filed for divorce. She had a seizure. Okay, like fall on the ground, grand mal, bad seizure. Never had one before.
Those are not good.
Yeah, her husband is a homeopath and encouraged her to go to the doctor. She didn't even go to the ER after. Yeah.
If you have never had a seizure before, and you have one, especially if it's a bad one, you go to a fucking doctor. You go to a fucking neurologist, and they will look at you and go, well...
She's asked for a divorce. She's seeking treatment.
Good.
Yeah, she's good. Her soon-to-be ex-husband, thankfully, can fuck right off into his nasty little pit of suffering and bullshit. I really don't like religion for its cultural implications and the oppression that it basically forces on populations, especially women and people of color. And I don't like religion. I really actually hate religion. I don't hate the religious, though. But I get really fucking pissed off at the alternative medicine crowd. They can fuck off. They're killing people.
Yeah, you should. That's... fuck.
Okay, so
and yes, I know they're killing people. I know.
Yes. Okay.
Not all of them.
Are we done with Jill Stein?
We're done with Jill Stein. So we're going to move into a Christian employer that recently caught favor with the court because they fired a transgender female for not wearing a suit at the place of business. So there was a district court that ruled that employers' religious beliefs trumped his employees' civil rights, and the details of the case will infuriate you. This came also from the Friendly Atheist blog. Amy Australia Stevens, a transgender woman, has spent 6 years working as a funeral director and an embalmer in Detroit. In 2013, she told her colleagues and employers at RG and GR, fuck your company name if it's like that, Harris Funeral Home, that she would go through a sex reassignment surgery so that her outward appearance would match her true gender. The proper response would have been, we wish you the best, we can't wait to have you back at work, or, this is none of my goddamn business, but more power to you. Instead, the owner fired her.
Of course.
And then later, Stevens filed a lawsuit against her employer with two specific allegations. One, that the company violated Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of '64 by firing her for being transgender. Yes, you can be fired. You can't be fired because of that. And they violated sex discrimination laws by saying that she was fired for refusing to wear a suit, which was a requirement of all male employees.
There it is. Yeah. There it is. Women don't get to wear pants. Those flexible, more movement friendly, not really in suits.
Yeah, pants are fucking horrible.
It just...
The whole world would be better if everybody just wore, dresses. If everybody wore sundresses, it'd be wonderful.
No, seriously, everyone should be wearing skirts or dresses all the time. If you have not, men, worn a kilt, because I understand that we still have gendered clothing, which is fine. I mean, I understand that's still a thing, and it's fine. Yeah. But you wear a kilt. Do the thing. You will be glad you did.
I just wish they weren't so expensive. Why are kilts so expensive?
There's a local kilt maker here in Utah that makes cheaper kilts. So
low demand.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So let's see the issue that was decided. Okay, so the first part of the lawsuit about being fired for being transgender got thrown out, which that's another lawsuit altogether. But the sex stereotyping claim could proceed, and that's the issue that was decided in the federal court. Mm-hmm. So
as a female, if I was not allowed to wear a suit to work, I would be pissed. Because I know that we call them pantsuits, which is really fucking stupid. Because they're a fucking suit. Yeah. Guys, their jacket matches their pants as well. So, but as a female, if I was fired for wearing a suit, I'd be so pissed off. Well,
here's the fucked up thing about the whole court case is that the judge agreed that there was a solid argument that discrimination was in play here. And so it was Sean Cox, the U.S. District Judge, but he also made it clear that RFRA laws created religious exceptions to the rule. So the company wasn't on the hook for doing anything wrong because of their religiously held beliefs. So the sooner we can get RFRA pulled out, the fucking better.
See, there it is. That judge was not ruling on a constitutional case. They were ruling on a case versus the law. And the law has RFRA in it, which is unconstitutional as fuck. Mm-hmm. But that's not what that judge got to decide. This wasn't about the constitutionality. This was about the law.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the fucked up thing, is that the employer's faith, which compels them to make their men wear suits at work, was deemed more important than the rights of a female employee to not wear a suit. That's the fucked up thing. And this kind of shit is just going to keep on happening until we get all these fucking stupid RFRA laws out of state constitutions, out of everywhere. Just get rid of them.
Speaking as Felicia, just Felicia, vote for Hillary, you assholes. A lot of people out there who I respect, and you're saying that you're going to vote third or fourth or 12th party. I love you. Fuck off. Vote for Hillary.
Yeah, that doesn't...
Okay, so the next one that we have going on here is we have it was kind of funny, terrible, sad at the same time. There was a blood donor needed for a child in India, but only if you're from the right caste.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So there, okay, the tweet that came out from this company, well, it's a crowdsourcing blood donation app called Blood Plus. Puts out calls for people to, donate in certain places if you can. Like, look, there's a high demand for this place. This person really needs blood and everything like that. So in order to save the life of a 3-year-old boy, they put out a tweet that somebody had sent them information on. And the bad news source that they got the news from said that only Gamma caste donors, O+, or O positive needed at this place and for a 3-year-old child. And so a lot of people started clamoring oh my God, really? You're going to bring caste into this and everything? But you have to understand, this was an aggregate thing. They sent the request out and the app picked it up and it put it out there. So it's not really the thing in the app's fault itself.
Yeah.
But the fact that somebody thought it would be funny.
I wasn't going to blame the app.
And the shit was just going around. Then the person that makes the app says, look, thanks for bringing it to our attention. We've deleted it and advised no further retweets. It was an accident. There was a tweet we sent out that mentioned caste, which is obviously wrong. This is human error and not deliberate. My apologies. Our group is neutral to religious, caste, political divisions. I trusted requests that came in, and speed is key. Safeguards from now on. So they got a request. They put it out there as quickly as possible so people could donate blood, not realizing they had sent this thing out with that information in there. So. And apparently the people that put out the request that this app picked it up from is a prankster, a well-known prankster news site in India. So So when I first started reading the story, I'm like, man, what a bunch of fucking assholes. You're saying you got to be a certain caste to donate blood? Then I started reading into it, and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I can see that happening here. Only white donors only, please.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, give it a couple weeks. It's going to happen, I'm sure. I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it happened today somewhere. I almost guarantee you it happened somewhere in the South today. Let's see. We have a religious right leader saying that if the Target boycott fails, Christians won't be able to pee anywhere.
Of course. You know what? Fine. Okay.
Yeah, don't go pee in those bathrooms. That's fine. I'll sully them myself.
Yeah.
Women, please pee. Ladies, you're prone to urinary tract infections. It's just a product of evolution because it didn't kill enough of us. It's the way it is. Please go pee.
You have doors on your stalls. What goes on behind that stall? Nobody fucking cares.
Nobody cares at all.
It's not going to be the one that looks like a woman. It's not. It's not going to be the one who's dressing to try and pass as a woman. It's not going to be that one. It's going to be one, some redneck asshole trying to prove a point by putting on a blonde wig who does not look like he's trying.
No.
Or 2, some predator who doesn't give a fuck. And guess what? That's incredibly rare. It's insanely rare. It's so rare. Just pee, please.
What right-wing leader? What right-wing leader could this possibly be? None other than the American Family Association's Sandy Rios.
Oh, of course.
And let's see. Rios told Breitbart News that the boy... Yeah, Breitbart. I can't believe that Breitbart is an actual, up-and-coming big fucking news source nowadays for the right, because it is horrible. It is horrible fucking news.
You know why?
Because it's the new alt-right.
No, because Trump hired a guy from Breitbart.
Oh, yeah.
That's his new campaign manager.
Let's see. The boycott isn't just about Target, but it's about scaring other corporations and governments so that they don't adopt similar policies and leave people like Rios with nowhere left to relieve themselves.
Here's
your religious privilege showing. You can go anywhere. Anywhere. You can go in the men's room. We've talked about this before. You can go pee in the men's room. Guys will not give you shit for it.
No, they won't.
Sandy, you can go wherever you want. If you feel so unfucking comfortable, you need to not be in civilization. You just need to go and fucking dig a ditch somewhere and pee in it. There you go.
Bitch, I like BDSM. Are you comfortable peeing next to me?
Bitch, I'll pee on you.
I'm not saying which side I'm I'm not saying which role I play.
In fact, so let's see. If she said that if we do not keep the pressure on Target, well, the pressure's on your bladder right now, on your urethra. This will quickly, and we know how major corporations are. They are scared to death of anything that isn't politically correct. This will spread like wildfire,
fucking hell.
and we will not be able to go to the bathroom anywhere.
You see, it's not about being politically correct. No. It's the fact that transgender people have money to spend too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
statistically not as much. Statistically not as much, especially transgender women of color.
Well, yeah, because they keep getting fucking fired from their jobs because they weren't wearing pantsuits. I'm gonna one up that story though, because this is the last one that we have before we go to break.
Okay.
Conservatives are in a giant fucking panic because lesbian and transgender hillbillies are coming to take over red states. This comes from Raw Story.
Oh,
Rush Limbaugh and other right-wing conservatives who have found what they believe is a plot by the Obama administration to infiltrate rural communities with lesbian and transgender hillbillies who will turn formerly Republican strongholds into Democratic majorities.
Oh, you mean by being people and convincing them that they're not monsters?
Yeah. So Media Matters reported on this past Saturday on the conservative media's reaction to the 15th annual nationwide LGBT Rural Summit, which was held at Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa on August 18th. The event was co-sponsored by the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, and the National Center for Lesbian Rights, and is intended for a way to LGBT people living in rural areas to connect, network, and share resources because...
You know what? No, let's let lesbians have the farms, because I'm going to be super stereotypical here. They like animals, and they're also
Fuck you, X.
And so they're probably going to be far more likely to have humane farming practices. You know what? Let's just put lesbians in charge of all of Tyson Chicken. Oh, just lesbians. Just lesbians. I'm just saying, we will still get the output, and it will be delicious, and it will be not cruel.
Why do we got to give jobs to all them people from that island? Why are we giving it to all them Lesbos people? Yeah. So the freak out over the summit began at a conservative website called The College Fix, which mocked the summit and complained that it was a waste of tax money.
Well, it is.
It is. And denied that LGBT people living in rural areas might face any special hurdles. Obviously, you've never been LGBT in a rural fucking environment.
Yeah, no shit.
By August 16th, the Washington Free Beacon picked up the story, wailing that's the article's word here. That's fucking great. That the summit will enable, and this is where the right wing starts fucking like lifting off the ground and spinning its head around and everything here. So it will enable, quote, lesbian and transgender hillbillies how to get subsidies from the government. Government. The all-day summit will teach them lesbian and transgender hillbillies how to get subsidies from the government, like rural housing loans and community facility grants.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bullying will also be discussed, And then, here he comes. None other than Rush Limbaugh picked up on the story. Have you heard the latest Democrat scam? Have you heard about
that's way too good.
The agriculture department's financial grants to lesbian farmers? I mean, you think I'm making this up? See, this is how they do it. What the point of this is, folks, is not about lesbian farmers. It's that they're trying to convince lesbians to become farmers. I'm
You don't
like
have
you.
It just turns out that there's lesbians who want to be farmers. That already existed. It's already a thing.
I can't do that. That's giving me way too much blood pressure in my head, and I'm starting to get like a head rush here. I see why he does it all the time.
He does all the drugs.
Dr. Law.
Why he does
I'm like you.
You do enough cocaine.
I never
do all that.
I never knew in my life before that lesbians wanted to be farmers. I never knew that lesbians wanted to get behind the horse and plow and start burrowing.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really?
What? Yeah, because apparently we still fucking plow the field with a horse and the ox with the fucking plow that you stand on, dude. That does not happen, Rush. Come on, man. But apparently enough money can make it happen, and the objective here is to attack. They're already attacking suburbs.
Oh.
My suburbs is my neighborhood is under constant lesbian attack.
Oh, you mean the neighborhoods that do a lot of volunteer and civic activities that raise the property prices of everyone around them, and then make like nice, friendly, safe neighborhoods that are usually quite diverse.
Just a nonstop caravan of Subarus going around the neighborhood.
Oh, fuck.
I make these jokes because I love my LGBT people.
Oh.
I live like right in a neighborhood right now. It's delightful. Like I just moved in, and it's delightful. Like,
it is, yeah. That's a nice little area down there where you are now.
It's lovely, and it's okay. So it's not like that high income, right? Like it's not like people around here are necessarily wealthy. I mean, there are some, but there's also some people. There's some not terribly wealthy people living in the area, but it's like quiet and peaceful and diverse. It's delightful. It's delightful, and there's a park. It's a major park. I'm not gonna say which one.
Yeah,
because but it's like right there, and I've got a credit, and it's right off. Like I'm not gonna say again, but it's amazing. I'm living like right in a neighborhood, and it's just neat. I just say the gays take over all suburban areas. Just let the gays have it. We'll fix gentrification, and we'll also help these people out financially. It's just great. Let's just do it.
Limbaugh says, they never stop, folks. They're constantly on the march.
So is he just like...
lesbian and transgender hillbillies just marching through the neighborhood with their overalls.
They're constantly marching. Jesus. The fuck? Really?
No,
someone from...
They never stop marching.
A writer from The Wire says that lesbian farmers don't exist. I mean, I don't know if the chocolate milk I'm drinking was originally obtained from a lesbian milking a cow. Things could really break down. That's fucking terrible.
Really? Lesbian farmers don't exist?
That's what this person said. And it's a long fucking last name, otherwise I'd give you the name.
No, I want to live in that guy's world. It's gotta be magic.
Women don't do hard labor, guys.
Oh,
we're soft.
Hey.
We're soft.
I had one of my professors went off about that, how it used to be equal power and the rights were divided very well between sexes back then because everybody would work in the field until automation came around, and then it became to be like the guy would go and take he took the power and he went to work the field, leaving the women and took their power. It was a really interesting conversation.
Well, that's actually I mean through most of history.
No,
it's anthropology. It is. Through most of history, work was shared. And most people stayed near the farmstead. And you would have, in tribal situations, you'd have your warrior class. But really, responsibilities were shared. Cooking wasn't considered a woman's job. Raising the children was everybody's job. It was one of those things. And yes, there were many women who were hunters and warriors. Yeah. It's just that a lot of times women, when they had babies, would choose to stay and breastfeed their own babies.
Yeah.
Like the thing. And so, but not always, and not entirely. And if you look at some cultures, like the ancient Scandinavians, I'm talking Vikings for you colloquial people, the whole family, mom, husband, kids would go out on the Vikings. Like that's the thing. And so these hardline gender roles of what women do and what men do didn't really start to occur until the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
When men had to go find work outside of the homestead. And they had and
my anthropology professor was going even further back into, instead of breaking the field by hand, you now had a plow.
Yeah.
And you had, cows and horses and stuff. So, and so at that point, they said, "Oh, well, now that you don't need me to be out here in the field with you, I'm going to go do my own thing." And so the man would just stay.
Well, yeah, and honestly, women would take on different projects, and this is where we actually get some wonderful writers, turn of the century, and then just after the Industrial Revolution, you start finding women going back into the workforce. You start finding women, because in the 1940s, particularly just post World War II, 1930s and 40s, women started leaving the household and having careers and being independent people, and in the United States themselves, they were actually treated as more equal and considered having. Like the roles were not so. There was still like puritanical sex things, but still women were considered perfectly capable of working, and that was normal.
Yeah, because there was that whole big demonstration of the fact that, women can run giant machinery shops during the 40s.
I mean, that was World War II.
Yeah,
so, early. Yeah, then World War II, all the men go off to war. Women are like, well, we can fill these roles, right? Because they can.
Yeah.
Because of course they fucking can. And so they start taking on the factory jobs that had been traditionally held by men. But women had been working previous to that. Like, we don't want to think like women had only been homestead before that. That wasn't really the case. And we have amazing like women authors like George Sands and
careful,
I'm forgetting her name. Yeah. Okay, so my point being, like these concepts of women not doing hard labor, and these concepts of women not wanting to be farmers or some shit, that's completely non-true. It's so false that the idea that women only stay home and do soft women work is so recent that it was the 1950s to now, and it's already a failed concept. It's completely and totally failed. It hasn't worked.
I can
it doesn't work.
Reading between the lines of what Rush and all these people are saying is like, they don't have a need for a penis anywhere in that house or on that farm? What? Why is my dick not needed?
There it is.
It should be needed everywhere.
It's like a plumbus.
All the places.
Everybody needs a plumbus.
There should be no home without a penis. That's just it.
All lives matter. It's there. All lives matter.
All farmers matter.
All penises matter.
All penises matter. All genitals matter.
We should start that.
Representation of.
Oh my God. We should start that. I could put that on 4chan. Oh man.
All penises matter.
I'm with 3 dudes, so.
All dicks matter. New t-shirt.
Hashtag all dicks matter.
Okay, so that's it for News You Missed. We're going to go jump into an interesting little segment. You know how anyway, I'll get to it here in a second. This is Utah Outcasts. We'll be right fucking back. So I wanted to take a little bit of time with this, I don't know if you guys have seen this. This was a pretty trending thing that was happening on our Reddit r/Mormon. And there's a contract that missionaries are now being forced to complete when they return from their missions. Apparently, the church is hemorrhaging more people than they care to admit. And the most important members, i.e., the deeply religious young folk that they're about to have kids, are quickly turning away in record numbers thanks to the internet and guys fighting against the Mormon church. So this is going to be the first in a segment that we're going to call You Oughta Know. And I have scans of this document here. I mean, this was going to be like a Decalogue thing because there's 10 parts to it, but I'm not going to go and look up all the fucking Mormon scriptures. I just don't want to. I have a quad over my left shoulder. It's back here on the wall somewhere, but I'm not going to go fucking get it because I was never good at scripture chase. Just kidding. I've never actually played it. So the first part, it asks, here's what it says. It says something stake, goal planning, and personal performance contract for returned missionaries. It has your name, the date, what mission you served, and what ward you're in. And part 1, the very first thing they ask for you to talk about and do is obedience.
Of course it is.
So this comes from 1 Samuel, and it says, "To them that honor me, I will honor." Trying to say, like, look, this is like Jesus saying, you take care of me, I take care of you, all right?
Yeah.
And so, my commitment, I will, and this is the bullet point list here, enroll and attend Institute weekly. State classes are Wednesday night at 7 p.m., something. So you have to enroll and attend additional religious fucking stuff, that even though you just got back from your mission. You will attend all Sunday meetings weekly.
Not going to work.
Which 3 hours already for most people. It can easily go into 4 and beyond.
Fuck. Look, you just sent these guys out for 2 years. Give them a fucking break.
No, because that's how Satan gets you.
Oh, jeez.
I've got a part that I'm waiting for. I know it's coming. So.
Okay.
So I will accept a calling to serve in addition to home teaching or visiting teaching, which is already a fucking big enough calling as it is. For those that might not know the terminology with the Mormon church, when you get a calling, that is, apparently God has told the church to tell you to do this job. Mm-hmm. When really it's just the bishop going, fuck, we need more people to do Relief Society.
We need more unpaid labor. We need more unpaid labor.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but home teaching is when somebody misses church, but they still want to get like the crib notes of everything. You send the home teachers.
Yeah, kind of.
Or is that visiting teaching? I can't remember.
It's like the same thing.
Okay, because we get things all the time from the stake visiting teachers, especially from the neighbors trying to guilt my wife into rejoining the church. She's like,
yeah,
like, thanks for the candy bars, but no, that's not going to happen. It's just no.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So they want you to have a calling.
I'm waiting for the missionaries to show up. I'm waiting for the missionaries or home teachers or whatever to show up to my new house.
So they want them to take a calling above that already. So they're already going to be serving some sort of lay responsibility in the church, plus the home teaching, visiting teaching, plus something else. On top of having to go to Institute weekly and attend all Sunday things. They are eating up every fucking second of your free time once you get back from your mission.
Yeah.
And they want you to report your mission to the High Council on so-and-so date, kind of thing. That's all blurred out here. Speak in sacrament meeting on so-and-so date here. Continue to dress modestly and act like a missionary. So now we're controlling your actions, your behavior, your the way you dress, the way you look.
Get to the best part.
And let's see. Keep my temple recommend current. That's another one you have to do, so you have to jump through some more hoops. Mm-hmm. Honor my mission by living my life with integrity. Don't masturbate.
Masturbate. Every missionary, please. Do this for yourself. Oh, yeah. And that sounds like a joke, but no, really, everyone should masturbate.
Really, yeah. Look. Your companion needs to do it too, so you might as well just help each other out.
I've always heard the jokes where it doesn't count unless your balls touch. So
it doesn't it doesn't. You don't even have to, you don't have to look at each other. You just lay down next to each other and you just reach over, and it's really just kind of like you're doing it to yourself.
Just it's colder. No, not colder, but it's just it doesn't feel quite the same. It doesn't rumple in the right spots. Yes, I just went there.
Are you having corpses jerk you off?
No, he's jerking corpses off.
Yeah, I was going to say vice versa there. It's kind of hard to make a corpse do anything, do you? It involves all sorts of pulleys and rope and shit, and just.
No, the rigor mortis means you can form it around it and just up and down. Just some
I've got a special hand jig built for corpses that you put their hands in it, then it gets rigor.
Or if you still have foreskin, you don't even need the lube. It's just in and out. It's just quick. It's nice and chilly.
Let's see. They want you to attend temple regularly. And they want you to attend the weekly Return Missionary something TC classes at so-and-so stake center for 4 weeks. So they want you to not come down graciously. They want you to stay as fucking hardline in this church as you possibly can be. And it's disgusting. It's just really gross.
Wow.
So that's part one. That's just the obedience clause of this thing.
Oh,
Crap.
Yeah,
Jesus.
this thing is 10 parts long. That's why I gave it its own segment this week. So you really ought to know about this shit that they're making the return missionaries fill out these days. Part 2, nurturing the blessings of the Spirit from 1 Nephi 10:19. The following things I will do, then this will be quick. I will do to keep the influence of the Spirit in my life. So they give you like 5 blank lines and they want you to fill it out for stuff that you're going to do to keep the influence of the Spirit in your life. Which that's code for something I don't know, but
I don't know.
I will not look at my mom's panties and get a boner. You know these guys got Sears catalog, thing going on. That's me though. I mean, I admit that one because that's the porn I had when I was a kid.
It's the Sears catalog. Yes.
We didn't have the internet. It took an hour and a half to download a really bad pixelated picture of Marina Sirtis from Star Trek when I was a kid.
I spent an inordinate amount of time looking at the Victoria's Secrets catalog. Not gonna lie.
My mom left the Fredericks of Hollywood laying around.
Shit! Yeah, that was like gold.
But the thing is, I looked at both sections.
Like gold for you. That was like my mom. Are you kidding me? She's like, are you kidding me? That was like my life. Like that was just
part 3.
But
you might recall on the patron show that came out last week or this past week that I caught my parents on video in the act of doing the thing. I've got more stories of parent sexuality stuff that I could bring up, so I'm just saving on to those ones for a while. I can make a whole comedy hour based on my parents fucking. It just be
No, that I have my mom's sexuality thing too, and it's not a thing. Like whatever.
So
but
part 3. Go ahead.
My mom just didn't believe I was bi. Like when I first came out to her as a teenager, I'm like, Mom, I like girls too, and she's like, it's just a phase. And then, and I told you guys about this, like where I came out to my mom again, but it was again. I didn't mention the part. Was like, Blonde Barista might be there, and like I was, you guys remember Blonde Barista and the.
Oh, we remember Blonde Barista. Yeah.
Yeah.
For reference, check episode 4. I actually don't know the episode number. Go back and listen to that because we still have it. But.
We don't know. But I was like, ooh, Blonde Barista might be there, and like I didn't elaborate because I didn't think about it. Yeah. And then she's like, she's a girl, and I go, oh. Yeah. I think that was the moment my mom started believing, oh yeah, my daughter actually does like girls too.
So part 3 is seeking personal purity. You should be searching for that too, Felicia, you dirty bird. I'm just kidding. So seeking personal purity from Moroni 748. Why do they put the fucking like quotes in this thing, like in parentheses? Make sure you read this section. I will associate with and date only people who share similar commitment to live the principles of the gospel. This is why I believe that commitment is so important.
There it is. They're worried about the sex. They're worried about the fucking. That's what it is. Because back in the day, when I was 18 years old and, I don't know, I guess more fiery? Not really. No, I was dating a return missionary. And I convinced him that premarital sex was not only okay, but healthy. And he decided he was going to have sex with me. And I hadn't decided that as well. And, and he got mad for that. But the thing is that they're worried about the fucking, because they're worried that those return missionaries are going to meet some independent young woman like myself, and and those young women are going to be like, no, I actually really like fucking, and I really, really enjoy that. And they're going to be like, and you don't feel bad? And they're like, no. And they're like, can I have sex with you? And they're going to be like, yeah, we can do that. and then that's going to make question everything. They're going to enjoy it, and they're going to be like, this might be an awesome thing, and I don't feel like we're going to hell for this. And the girl's going to be like, no, we're not going to hell for this. This is the world. And that's what it is. Or they're going to meet the girl or guy, because return missionaries can be either sex, and they're going to, and either sexuality or all the sexualities, and they're going to be like, wait, so this isn't bad? And they're like, no, do you feel bad? And they're going to be like, no. And they're going to be like, maybe you should think about your church. And they're going to be like, you're right.
You're so right. They've taught me all these years.
That's what they're afraid of. That's what they're fucking afraid of. That's what they're afraid of. That's why they've got that clause in there, the dateful clause, because the fucking will turn everyone away because fucking is awesome. Especially consensual, fun sex, where you're not feeling guilty. It's red.
So they give you like a 4-line space to fill out. And this is like 8x10 paper. So, I mean, it's like, it's normal size, like, not legal document, but you know, the usual size you get for a printout. Mm-hmm. And it says, this is why I believe that commitment is so important. And they expect you to fill out like 4 lines of shit like that. And I don't know about you guys, but I've got tiny as fuck handwriting. So anytime someone hands me like a paper and they're like, here, fill this out. And I'm like, oh God, this is like, you're asking me to paint the fucking Sistine Chapel because you've given me all this fucking space to put what I'm going to write down. And I
learned lettering.
I had a final.
I actually learned lettering.
My 2000 level English final that I had in college was a in-class paper that had to be 8 pages long.
Fuck that shit, first of all.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it is I was there an hour after the professor wanted to go. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm only on page 5. I can't wrap this up. I'm going to be finishing writing this like whenever. Like it was. Yeah. And I even tried to increase space and everything, but no. But anyway.
First of all, you tiny writers, because I've actually had to try to decode tiny writer writing, fuck you.
Mm-hmm. No, my tiny writing is fucking beautiful because you know what? It's not on the line. You don't get it all mixed up in that shit. I don't. Whatever.
Handwriting sucks. Second of all, no, my handwriting is actually fairly large. Third, I actually learned lettering. Took an interior design class and learned lettering. That's actually a surprisingly useful skill. Not gonna lie. And so, no, my writing when I do stuff like that is like fucking perfect, and it's so well spaced that I can. Oh, it's neat. I can fill in, like, people are like, fill this whole thing in. I'm like, in 3 paragraphs, you bet your ass.
So what you're telling me, you have the greatest words. You've got the biggest words. They're just
no.
You just
no. I've got the bullshittiest words.
But the letters are beautiful.
They're beautiful.
They're not actually beautiful. They're really dull, but they're very legible. I've got the legiblest words.
I got the legiblest
the most legiblest words.
The legiblest words.
Part 4. Personal power through preparation. Someone got happy with their fucking alliteration there.
Right.
Personal power through preparation. Matt 633. You should not have a book in your holy book with the name Matt in it.
Your accent alliteration is audacious.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's probably short for Matthew, I would assume. I just realized that. Even then, fuck that book. Fucking neck-bearded, fedora-wearing book. So, study and learn and become acquainted with all good books, tongues, and people. He wants to get acquainted with all them tongues.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Doctrine and Covenant thing, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
What, with my tongue in your tail?
Yeah, exactly. So in this segment, they want you to fill out another like 6-line fucking Sistine Chapel thing here, where my career and education goals are outlined below. Like,
holy shit!
They're fucking 20 years old at this point now.
Yeah. They just got back from doing 2 years, God knows where. 2 years of religious service, God knows where, and. Hey, welcome back. What do you want to do with your life? I go, fucking no, man.
Let's make you answer this question right now. Right fucking now.
Look. I'm just getting over like the biggest culture shock of my life.
This is coming across like a really desperate girlfriend. This is what this is coming through.
Yeah.
Like, or a really desperate boyfriend who's just clinging on, like, so tell me, like, we just started dating, but what are your plans? Like, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. We're just having fun. God damn. So, part 5, becoming a disciple of Christ. The commitment I am making to my future spouse to prepare for our sealing is, and they want you to fill out another 6 lines here.
Fuck.
And
they're already pushing marriage.
Yeah. And the next line says, And it's, quote, marriage between man and woman is essential to his eternal plan, from their family proclamation. They cite their fucking wall hanging for...
I'm just going to go over here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go over here and masturbate, and then tomorrow I'm going to have sex with my boyfriend.
Is that okay?
Husband.
Can we do that? No, it's okay. Part 6. Seeking virtue affirms a commitment to holiness. Seeking virtue affirms a commitment to holiness. What the fuck?
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so seeking virtue, you're looking for somebody who is not a freak, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. Affirms, so it
slut.
Yeah, not a slut.
Oh,
It
yeah.
affirms a commitment to holiness. So
Let's cut the bullshit, okay? The vast majority of missionaries returning home are men. Yes, women can technically go on missions, but they are by and far not the majority.
they don't have the same
These
superpowers
are
either.
started towards men. So when they talk about virtue, they're talking about virgins.
Oh.
Female.
Oh, code words. Gotcha.
Got
Okay.
you.
Yes.
Oh, and here it is, because it says underneath it, the attributes I desire most in my future spouse are... Four
Boom!
lines long.
Told
Four
you.
lines long.
4 lines
God,
long.
fucking knew it. Fucking knew it. Oh my god. Oh my.
We're getting there.
Yep.
We're rounding the bases. Part 7. Loving God by honoring and respecting those whom He has provided to love me. Wow, that's abusive
What?
relationship bullshit right there.
Oh, shit.
Loving God by honoring and respecting those who He has provided to me. God gave me these good people in my life, so I will honor and respect those. That's the same kind of shit that's caused my mom to think that she can't be pissed off that her parents beat her when she was a kid and did horrible shit to her. Like, because you're supposed to honor your father and mother. No, you don't have to.
No. No, you actually don't. You don't.
It's a
have
two-way
to at
street.
all.
It's not one way. It's two-way.
God, this is incredible for a religion that puts so much emphasis on
Personal freedom.
agency or
Yeah.
free agency, as they like to call it. They're doing a lot of really strong arming against that.
But you were a Mormon. You know how this goes. They talk about free agency, use cultural guilt and pressures to form you into what you're doing, so that your free agency chooses what they want you to do.
Oh,
So
yeah,
there's
of course, yeah.
Free agency every fucking day.
Oh, yeah.
I had a guy that I work with. We started talking about Mormonism and how I'm atheist and everything, and how I don't believe because I don't see the evidence and everything like that. And boy, he got really pissed off when I started espousing what he is supposed to believe, that, it's not something they talk about in polite culture, but, they talk about it in the church, I'm like, well, I know you guys think that regular Christianity and everything else is the whore of, well, you think the Catholic Church is the whore of Babylon. And he's like, what? I'm
Well,
like, no,
I thought
that's your guys' words. That's not mine. Yeah. Well, I've never said that. I'm like, no, you don't have to. I just know that that's the standing. Well, I don't think we'd put it so roughly, but yeah.
Oh no, Mormons have to be nice. They have to.
Well,
nice.
they have to pretend to be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that.
No. One does not pretend to be nice. Nice is the outward behavior. Kindness is internal.
Now, if you want to
Let's
listen
be
to
clear.
that kind of stuff, go listen to the Matt Dillahunty thing that's coming out on Godless Revolution.
Yes, the man
Knowledge
say
is a subset of belief. Okay, so for that part 7, they want you to list: my parents and siblings can expect the following from me from this point forward in my life. I'm going to put on paper what people can go, yeah, see, you didn't buy me a Christmas present this year, you fucking asshole. You said here on this contract you were going to. You said you were going to do the dishes.
I do the dishes
every day
night.
for the rest of my fucking life.
I'm gonna make up for 2 years worth of not doing the dishes for my family.
Part 8. Elevating my life by developing positive life habits. This makes me tired thinking about
Not
that.
masturbating.
God damn it.
To continue to grow spiritually in my life, I will do the following on a regular basis. ... Whatever it is. Regular temple attendance means ... And then it has my financial goals include tithes and offerings, and they give you a blank to write down there. Your savings goal, and a blank there. And your debt avoidance, and something to put there.
There it is. It's always tithing. It always comes down to money.
Pocketbook.
Yep.
And so, as we're about to finish this thing up here, we have Section 9 that says, there is a Section 9. Learning to respect and seek the divine promises the Lord extends to all who earnestly seek Him. Learn how to make shorter fucking titles, you piece of shit religion. Jesus Christ, man.
No, X. If they make shorter, they might be easily understood and therefore called out as bullshit.
Concise.
They're specifically using manipulative language that can be difficult to interpret so that it can be used against them. Oh my God, that's exactly what they're doing. Of course they wouldn't use simple titles, for fuck's sake.
And so it gives you all of these. It says, I have read each of the following scriptural promises that the Lord makes to those who honor commitments. And it lists a whole bunch of them. And I'm not going to read them out to you. And then part 10, the last one here. It says, my commitment and the support of those who love me. So the returned missionary has to sign their name and date it. The parent has to sign it and date it. The bishop has to sign it and date it. And then the stake president has to sign it and date it. And it says, note to returning missionary, when this document has been completed, please make one in parentheses, copy for each of the following: parents, bishop, and stake president, so we can keep it on your file and fuck you over if you're not doing the right things that we think that you should be doing. Man, this religion, god damn it. If people are wondering how cultish the Mormons can be, very fucking cultish, man.
Yeah, there it is.
Get out. Get out.
So, yeah, you ought to know, and you ought to be running for the fucking hills. Please,
and
please.
I can hear somebody saying, but this isn't enforceable in a court of law. You're right, it's not. That's not who they're trying to enforce it through.
It's enforceable in a court of love with these people, though.
God.
That's what they always call it, a court of love. We're about to kick you out of our religion, and we're about to guilt the shit out of you.
Of love.
Oh, holy shit. This is that's just fucking wrong on so many levels.
It's just a guy getting back.
Absolutely.
Wanting to try to pick up the pieces of what he left behind.
Yeah.
After being brainwashed for 2 years and not being able to be by himself. You are not allowed to be by yourself for 2 years.
Yeah. So this is
how imagine that.
Yeah. This is how they're fighting the kids who go out, leave their home for 2 years when they're used to be at 19, but now I think they dropped it down to 18. Yeah. They dropped down to 18. So 18-year-old kids are leaving, and a lot of them go to other parts of the world they never even imagined going to. They've suffered major culture shock.
They're taught only enough language.
Yeah, they're taught only enough language to work within their evangelical mission.
They don't know slang. They don't know.
Yeah, they don't know slang. I mean, they pick up quite a bit. I know, and I have talked to a lot of returned missionaries who as soon as they are exposed to these different cultures, these different ideas, these different values, really start to question things.
Yeah, no, they're out of the fucking.
Yeah, they're out of the bubble, and as soon as that's why they send them out in twos.
Yeah, because you can't possibly have someone, getting into the missionary's head with all that crazy belief of, there is no God.
Yeah. And they shuffle them around.
We need to get moving. We need to move from this location.
You don't go out and you don't spend 2 years with the same person in exactly the same place.
Yeah.
You get shuffled around a bit.
Especially if you're a piece of shit, then they shuffle you around a lot more.
Yeah. If you're problematic, they put you with somebody who's, really, really complacent.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and jump to our next commercial break, and we will be right back with everybody's favorite segment, Fun with Real Audio. We will be right back. This is X, this is Kyle, and this is Felicia. We'll be right back. All right, welcome to Fun with Real Audio. This is one of our greatest and all-time longest-running segments we've ever done on this show. I mean, Christ, I think we haven't done an episode that hasn't had Fun with Real Audio, have we?
All right,
because it's fun.
I know Real Audio does to me.
This first one's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you too much. Yeah, this one's all right because
I'm pouring one drink, and then this is going away for the night.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that before. Fucking lush.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding.
You've never heard me say that. All you've heard me say is I'm drinking more. That's all you've ever heard me say. So shut the fuck up. Love you.
So the Dobsons. Everybody knows who the Dobsons family are, don't you? You guys know who what's his name? James Dobson and Shirley Dobson. Those names ring a bell to anybody?
Nope.
Well, they're responsible for the Family Research Council.
Oh. Shit. I know that name.
And they're also responsible for Focus on the Family.
Fuck.
Oh, shit.
So anyway, they want to let you know who they're endorsing in this political race, and
of course they do.
It's just terrible. Here we go.
Come
I'm
on.
Dr. James Dobson, and I know that many of you are deeply concerned, as I am, about the direction our country is headed.
Sounds like such a made-up voice.
We're losing ground as a nation every day. And that's why I've decided as a private individual to endorse Donald J. Trump for President of the United States.
Big surprise.
I believe he and his running mate, Governor Mike Pence, will provide the leadership this nation so desperately needs. Most importantly, Mr. Trump has promised to nominate conservative justices
there you got it.
to the
Right
United
there.
States Supreme Court.
That's all they care about right
I
now.
hope you will join me in voting for Trump and Pence on November the 8th.
No.
Now it's Shirley's turn.
No.
Now it's Shirley's turn. Here we go.
Oh, good.
I am Shirley Dobson. As a Christian mother and grandmother, I am very concerned about our
That's all you
country.
got going for you, huh?
I'm supporting Donald Trump because I think he is the best choice to defend religious liberty, protect the unborn, appoint Supreme Court justices, and keep America safe. I pray that you will join me too.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Because it's not well
Really?
enough to get to the back road is what I'm saying. Okay,
Man.
I'm sorry. For the podcast people there, you weren't watching the video. I was pretending to suck a dick, and then I deep-throated it, but it didn't get to the deep throat.
Ah.
Yeah, that was the miming.
Gets to that weird, thick, ropey spit. There you go. Shirley's
Why
your
did
dude.
they even...
Funny mime bit. Actually, that's a really funny mime bit. That's really funny. It's really fucking funny. Like, you're like, okay.
Go watch it on YouTube, people. Come on.
Yeah, it'd be funny. It'd be funny. That's funny. Like, then it doesn't hit the back of your throat, so you're like, okay, so I'll tickle the balls? I don't know. Like, that's funny.
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, nobody really should give a fuck what the hell the Dobsons are doing. But unfortunately, with Christians, they are authoritarian. They love to look up to people to tell them what to do. Right. I have this many monies. What should I do? Well, give me half those monies and then do what I tell you to do. Okay, that sounds like a good idea. God loves me, right? Yes, God loves you.
Why do their opinions matter?
Because they, as a church, they can't come out and say vote for this person, or like a ministry, they can't say vote for these people. So they said, as private individuals, we are endorsing these people.
Right, but I'm sure they communicated that through their private channels instead of through their,
As Felicia Entwistle. This is Felicia Entwistle speaking. Mike Weinholz is awesome.
God damn it, Felicia.
Just saying.
So that's how you get out of it.
That's how you get around it. That's
how
the
we get
game.
around it.
Yeah. No. Hey.
Hey, works for me.
This is important. No,
I
you guys.
like Mike.
I can't condemn this for them. This at all. I actually can't. Sorry. Nope. As somebody who serves on the board of a nonprofit, and I want to be very fucking clear that this nonprofit does not endorse anyone. And we have never, ever, ever given any money nor done any work for any political candidate ever. Me, myself, me personally, me just acting as an individual.
The words, voices, and opinions of Felicia Entwistle, Kyle Skinlick, and Christopher Reed do not reflect in any way, shape, or form our respective employers or nonprofits or people that we are affiliated with thereof.
Yep, exactly.
Do we need
we
to
have to have a disclaimer? I actually do need to start getting boilerplate fucking disclaimer stuff ready to go because sooner or later, thanks to our loving people out there, I am going to have to file an LLC to keep the taxes away because god damn it. No, please keep supporting the show. Please keep supporting the show. But we're going to get to that here we're going to get to that little bit right before we end up the show because I had to buy something this week. Ugh. Anyway, let's finish up with the Dobsons. That's all they had to say. Final words on them, anybody?
Other than
you gotta protect the unborn. Protect the unborn. Protect that clump of cells.
Nobody cares who they're endorsing, really.
Protect that tonsil stone.
But their reasons for endorsing him are so shallow, and they don't.
I've never understood why people. I can get why people support people in the Supreme Court, but at the same time, it's like if these judges were as fair as we hope they are to be, we wouldn't need to worry about who's in place. To vote for these people. It shouldn't be a matter. It should not be a partisan person at all. It should be a middle of the line kind of judge. But unfortunately, that really doesn't exist. Judges are not. They're people, so they're fallible just like we are. So
right, they are.
All right, that's it for the Dobsons.
Neat.
You might want to re-pour that shot, Felicia, because the next one that we have up here is Jim Bakker.
Yep. Yep. I'm not an idiot.
Who wants to warn us to not blaspheming God on election day?
Ooh, let's do this.
Ooh.
Every day. Every fucking day.
Every day with Jim Bakker.
The history books have been and are being rewritten.
That's right.
Our nation. I see it every day. I'm in agony. I'm in prayer. I'm in intercessory every hour of every day. To God save America. God save America. This next election can determine the full direction of this country, whether we are going to blaspheme God Almighty, the one who founded America. God gave America. God opened America. God caused it to be founded. And literally, the Jewish people are 50-50, 50% in America and 50% in the Holy Land. God established America. But 9/11 was, I believe, where God let his hand come back. And a warning to this nation to turn back to God.
So what was he saying about rewriting history?
Yeah, no shit, really? I don't even know what he means by 50% are in the Holy Land, 50% are here. It's like I don't think you know how percentages work there, Jim.
I don't think
that doesn't make any sense to me.
He clearly doesn't know how history works and how facts work.
And you guys didn't get to see the video, but he was showing a picture and giving us a description of 9/11 in case you forgot what 9/11 was, people. I mean,
what you mean, like Rudy Giuliani?
There it is. There it is.
Don't jump ahead. No, I love the porn sounds we were getting from the background from his his Flavor Flav type person, his hype person out there. Oh yes, yes,
yeah.
God loves cock. Oh my God, man! He wants to say that God gave us America. No,
we didn't.
If God wanted to give somebody anything,
no. He said specifically God founded America, and I'm pretty sure we have all the documentation that's not fucking true.
That's definitely not true.
Mm-hmm.
But my point, the important point from what I'm trying to get to here is that if the guy really wanted to give somebody something, why does he have to work through all of this other shit? Isn't he of the omni everything kind of thing? Can he do, say, make, anything happen? I mean, technically he should be able to break his own fucking physical rules of this universe too. So he can make a bean burrito too hot that he can eat. So I don't know. He can make a square circle.
It all depends on which apologist you're asking.
Depends on what the definition of is with these people.
Well, yes. Well, and many of them are now fond of saying, "Oh no, he can do anything within the realm of the universal rules that he made. He can't break his own laws of the universe that he made."
Why the hell not?
So, even though we say he did, he can't anymore. He decided to be a law-abiding, omnipotent deity.
I'm looking at some of the comments that people made on the YouTube channel for this video, and he's right. America must turn back to God. Get back on your knees and pray and something. And one guy is like, "Yeah, I do not get down on my knees often for anyone. They do for me, however. My favorite thing to do with guys." And it's a guy making this comment. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's another guy that says, "You can use the empty buckets to poop in. That's what Jimmy says." Oh, wait. Will I still have to poop when the rapture takes me? I'm so confused.
The buckets are dual purpose.
Mommy, Daddy, do angels poop? I don't know, kids. I don't know. Fucking Jim Bakker.
Yes,
I
they do, and it tastes like sugar cookies.
Terrible.
That's what snow is. Or something.
Snow is angel jizz.
Man. All right, that's it for him. Well, Kyle had to ruin it in the last segment, but he wanted to talk about Giuliani. And so I do have him on the list. So let's see what Mayor Giuliani has forgotten about recently. I mean, you would think he would know this kind of thing.
Mike Pence understands this from his time both on the Foreign Affairs Committee, from his very, very timely visit, which I remember, to Ground Zero when we were in desperate need of help. He was there.
Pence was there, okay.
And from his work on Judiciary Committee and helping to fashion the Patriot Act. By the way, under those 8 years, before Obama came along, we didn't have any successful radical Islamic terrorist attack in the United States.
Excuse me. What?
Like, I'm sorry, what the fuck did you just say? Mayor Giuliani, really, you want to go with that one, do you? You want to say that there was not a single terrorist attack prior to Obama being a president?
Is he trying to say in the time between 9/11 and Obama being elected?
He mentioned Ground Zero in that very speech. What the fuck is he even saying? I'm what the
fuck?
Totally baffled. Was he trying to pull a Donald Trump where he was like, "I'm going off teleprompter, I'm just going to speak from the mind and be a complete idiot"? Fuck you, Giuliani.
How could you be so stupid as to even think that you missed out on the big one, like that you were there for? Like, you were the mayor, you were the guy sitting in the office going, "Oh fuck, there goes the Twin Towers." You know, how do you forget that?
That doesn't make fucking hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we could probably go longer, but that was only like a 30-second clip, and I needed to play it just to get people's going face palming, slapping their head kind of thing, because that's just honestly one of the most ridiculous fucking statements I've ever heard from somebody before.
Ever.
Yeah.
And he's talking about specifically about Islamic terror. Does he not remember that someone else tried to bomb the Twin Towers, like in 93 or something like that? I can't remember when it was, but
yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think of that was going through his head there is that he was trying to say between the time after 9/11 up to the election.
Oh,
and
I'm sure there was something there. We had Fort Hood.
Yeah.
There was the Fort Hood shooting. Oh, that was a shooting, not a terror attack. Now they're playing with their own words. Now they're mincing their own words up.
Yeah, of course. Well, of course they are.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Of course
they can't
they
be
are.
honest about.
They're pointing out radical Islamic terrorists. They're not even. He's just completely pretending that there's no such thing as domestic terrorism.
Of course, there's not. That can't
domestic
happen.
Christian terrorism, which does exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, the final one that we have for you guys tonight, we have Alveda King, who apparently doesn't like Hillary Clinton very much. I mean, nobody on the extreme right does, but she's got some directed words towards Mrs. Clinton, and here we go.
Mrs. Hillary Clinton recently said, I am paraphrasing, but look it up. She said basically, Christians and religious people in America need to set aside their religious beliefs and serve secular humanism. And in that point, she was saying abortion or
Listen
the thing with ISIS.
We can't do that.
And she really has said we're going to have to learn in America to set aside our religious beliefs. And so I was saying what she's really saying is usher in the Antichrist. I mean,
that's a huge fucking jump.
She actually did say that. Her running mate for the vice president, Tim, it's a very deceptive thing, so I pray that people are really listening. He'll even say, I personally am not for abortion, but I'm going to uphold the law of the land. Mm-hmm. Knowing that if she appoints those Supreme Court justices, they will open the borders, more terrorists will come across the borders, there will be more disrespect to Israel, the issue of marriage and family will further degrade, more and more money will go to Planned Parenthood.
Fuck this lady, and we've got more of her coming up, but
damn it. Yeah.
What gain do the lefties, according to these people, get when they open the border to let more terrorists come in? I don't understand what they think the end game for, us allowing supposedly something like that to happen. I don't.
There's no advantage. Advantage.
There is, and she went off on Kane. There is a difference between liking something and, upholding the law. You can be completely against abortion, but couch it as look, this is the law of the land. I'm not fighting for it to be taken away. I don't think it's a great thing, but you know what? The law of the country says you can do this.
Right.
Just like how Mormons...
I used to be... I've always called myself pro-choice. But I used to say that life began at conception because, technically, life begins way before conception, technically true. Like, all eggs are alive.
Life began 4-point-something billion years ago.
Technically true. But, in my limited scope of knowledge, I used to say, well, yeah, you are mixing genetics at that specific moment. Yeah. And... But I also used to say that, sure, it's your choice, though. And I used to say that it was immoral, but not, to the level of murder, which is stupid. Because it's not. Abortion isn't immoral.
Not even close.
Sorry, no. No, it's not. But, yeah, I used to be like that, but I always was pro-choice. I signed up to volunteer for Planned Parenthood. Of course, they ended up only calling me months later when I was at work. But, the thing I did, I've always supported Planned Parenthood. I've always given what I could. So, yeah, you can be both pro-life and pro-choice. That's actually the same thing.
You could prefer for the baby to be born. You could prefer for that. But the thing is, you're not saying that you demand it from every woman.
Right.
Right. I didn't equate abortion with murder. I never did that thing. Yeah. And I'm glad I didn't. Because I was like, it's not, though. I did say it was life, which is technically true way before they're conceived. So, way before sperm meets egg, it's still life. According to biology,
but even then, unless you are what is it? Jainism?
Oh yeah.
So unless you're to that extreme, you already qualify or put different values on life.
On what you consider
you have no qualms about using antibiotics, washing your hands, squashing a bug.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I regularly save worms from the rain, but I'm not doing it for some great moral purpose, but like I'm like, I bet you that worm really appreciates this. Their worm doesn't fucking know, but
I'll save a spider before I save an earwig. Fuck off. Are you kidding me? Spiders.
It's not even a question.
The baddie.
All bugs matter.
Hey. No. Your top predators matter. Your dragonflies, your ladybugs, your spiders. Yeah.
Apex predators matter. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So you get to keep the A word at the beginning too. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of T-shirts in our store.
The ones that are the most important. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so that's it for our Phone with Real Audio. We're gonna jump to our final commercial break and be back with our highs and lows because I've watched both of you guys yawn. So it's time to be wrapping this one up. We will be right back to finish up the show. This is Utah Outcasts. This is Kyle, Felicia, and X. Be right back. Okay, so we're back for the final segment of the show, which, as we don't have a guest, because I've been lazy, I would get more guests, but we recorded a weird hour, and it's hard for us to especially get people on the East Coast to want to do this crazy-ass show, but it's, we like talking with each other. I mean, this is therapy for me, really, and I'm glad people out there really enjoy listening to it. So, what we're going to talk about for our final segment is we're going to do our highs and lows. I mean, unless you guys want to just do a high. And I'll start things off like I normally do. My high point for this week was a weird cross between my oldest going back to school finally, and I got a weird-ass job interview. For those that haven't guessed or known already, I work with the federal government, and the level that I was interviewing at, they don't give you an interview where they ask you questions. You go into a room after sitting out in the lobby for about 20 minutes looking at a list of questions they give you and writing down all sorts of crib notes. And then when you finally go into the interview, they're like, okay, welcome, hi, yes, we're glad you're here. Please go ahead. And so you have to sit there for like 15 minutes selling yourself to these people and relating it to the handful of questions they gave you before you started. They don't say anything to you. They just look at you, and then they look down at their pad, and they write shit down. It is so goddamn weird, but it felt good because doing this show, I'm able to bullshit for quite a long time, and I could just keep it going and going and going and going. So that was kind of fun. Oh, so my low point for this week was having to pay money, hard-earned money, actually not that hard-earned, to buy something from the Living Waters Ministries. I bought the Atheist Delusion movie because you guys, the patrons out there, have demanded it. And
we're going to have to offset that somehow.
It was $20.
We're going to do this. And we're going to do this. I'm gonna have a bottle of wine.
Well, and
I'm gonna walk away yelling.
I put them on my Google Drive, so I'll be sharing them with you two guys here pretty soon. But okay, so it was $20, and I feel dirty for buying it, but at the same time, they do give you your value. I mean, value is a hefty weighted word here because it's not very valuable at all. But they gave me like 3 other books along with the movie in standard and low def. And they offered me like all sorts of discounts and stuff. I wanted to buy something else, and I'm like, no, I really don't. But when I was at the checkout for buying this shit, and I gave myself the most atheist name I possibly could at the store. I'm like, I'm X the Unholy, And they're like, hi, X the Unholy. We see that you were interested in this book. Would you like to buy this one? I'm like, no. And then they said, would you like to give money to our charity? And I'm like, what charity is this? Like, you wouldn't give money to the ministry. No. Is it possible to give negative monies to you, please? I would love to get the $20 back. And I'd feel bad, but you guys donated it, and we're going to be fucking watching it, so...
This means don't you dare buy this film.
No, just email me.
I'm not
yeah.
That's mailbag at UtahOutcasts.com if you want your very own copy. which I will not give you. I will totally not give you a copy of this movie for free. I do not support piracy at all.
No.
That is against the law. Never. I would never, ever just link you to the Google document that I don't have that has that in there. I will not do that.
Nope.
That is against the law.
We would never, ever advocate for torrenting certain things.
You can't find it. I mean...
Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants it. So that's it for me for this week. What about you guys?
Ooh, so a nice low point. I'm apparently now at an age where
that's terrible. Nice low.
Yeah, you can like fuck up your nerves in your hand by just sleeping on your arm wrong.
Oh God.
No, I've got a pinched nerve in my elbow, which makes half of my hand just numb.
That's terrible.
Which really sucks. Yeah, and it's not really a big deal. It usually kind of corrects itself once everything pops back into place. But yeah, it can take like weeks.
Oh God. That reminded me, because I wanted to bring up another low point. I forgot to write it down on my notes. Being in a family with 4 other ladies and not having any kind of like guy to relate to, because one of them really tagged my balls earlier today. Like really hit him really fucking hard. And I'm like doubled over in pain and like, oh God, this fucking hurts. Oh fuck, I'm just really in a bad mood and cranky because my kids hit me. And my wife's like, just walk it off. I'm like, you don't have them. You don't know what it is. And I understand.
He grew up. No, there wasn't a lot of males in our house. Like, he lectured me on what it was like to be a male, and that we don't like. He never said like it was superior to females. No, because my dad.
No, nothing like that.
Right.
No, but like he grew up in a house of females. There was more females than males in the house I was in as a kid after my parents were divorced. But no, he took a stand and said that is not okay.
Yeah.
And since that moment, I went, nope, he's right. We don't do that. We don't do that to men. No.
I just can't get any empathy. I can't get any empathy from any of my ladies in the house because they don't know. They don't get it.
Yeah, no, I don't get it. I don't know what it's like to be hit in the balls, but it's not funny.
No. And that's not to say that women don't share their own unique pains that guys will never understand. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that getting a quick...
It can be funny, but it can be funny when girls hit their cooch, too. So, but like only when it's accidental and nobody's trying to hurt you, or if the guy consents to being like hitting the balls, that can also be funny.
Or because like Dan and I have both, admitted to each other, not like in private chats or anything like that, but being men that are aging, or we're appreciating in value, as I like to think we are. I've gotten out of my car one time when I was going commando. And I've got bucket seats in my car. Like, I've got a sporty seat in my car. And you try to get out, and next thing you know, you're scooting out along the seat, and the bolster in it just holds onto your nuts while you're, like, getting out. And so they end up like, smacking the bottom of your ass, and they get pinched, and it hurts really fucking bad. You're, like, sitting on your own nuts. It's terrible, guys. It's terrible. They get stretchy when you get older. It's fucking weird.
Yeah. You can sit on them. Yes.
I watched my sister run into a street sign pole, and that was funny. Yes. Funny. But I'm saying it's not funny to intentionally hit a guy in the balls when he's not expecting it, intending to cause pain. That's not funny. That's not funny. It's funny all the other times it hurts, because like there's been times when one time when I was a teenager and I was really hormonal, like I was like 13 and it was just super hormonal, and I got spooked by a sound in my room. Me and the former stepsister had been telling each other scary stories, right? And so there was a sound in my room. I don't know what it was. It was probably the house, house is a big noise. And we ran out of the room and I just started crying, like full on tears, and I couldn't stop. And I thought it was hilarious because I was like, I don't know what happened to me. And so I knew I was hormonal, and I was seriously terrified, but it was also hilarious. So I was laughing and crying at the same time. That's a thing that happens. And so, yes, even men who are in pain with their balls can know this is going to be funny when it's hurting. They can know that. They can know.
This will be funny in about 2 hours.
It's gonna be fucking hilarious. This is ridiculous. I just sat on my own balls. That's hilarious. It's fun. It's fun.
So Kyle, to let you get back to your high, go ahead.
Oh God, fuck, a high point. School starting, so
yay!
Kids are going back to school. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Also, I guess that's also a low point. Because you also have like back to school and dealing with new teachers and that fun
fuck! I gotta come up with a volunteer fucking schedule. Yay! I'm glad that for my 3 kids going to the same school, I only have to worry about a certain amount of volunteer hours that you would get for 1 kid. You don't have to do it for all 3. So otherwise, my ass would be there every week.
Yeah. So, and aside from that, so I took on the me and Carly. We're taking on the family events for Atheists of Utah.
Yes, they are.
That's fun.
Such a relief.
So yeah, the way things panned out. So we had a bunch of things that are hitting real quick. Yeah, so there are events coming up. We have the end of summer barbecue that we kind of threw together in like 2 days. But no, that's actually not really that. That's not a very big thing. So it's not hard to throw that together. But that's going to be fun for the next while. We've got a lot of fun things we're planning out, and also we've just been getting ready for the Salt Lake Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, that is coming up.
I know. I'm putting together. Well, not putting together, but I'm on five panels there. So I'm not moderating any this time, which is
at least they finally have their shit sorted, so you know who's moderating well ahead of time.
Yes, we do. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So I'm again going to be talking about Doctor Who, which they put me in one of those every time. Star Wars, Harry Potter, Aliens, and Kevin Smith. Yeah.
Yay! I love Kevin Smith.
I'm doing his panel. So that's gonna be fun.
Have you watched Tusk yet?
Nope, not yet. Not yet. That one's I've seen bits and pieces. I need to sit down and watch the whole thing.
How about Red State? Red State was a good one too. I loved his independent stuff. I love his independent things that he's made.
He's got a unique style there.
Yeah.
But Red State was great. It really was.
What's the new one that came out that had his daughter in it? What is it? Yoga Hosers or something like that?
Yoga Hosers, which is just opening. It's kind of doing a slow rollout, but it's not opening here, or not screening here anyway.
That's too bad, because I'd go see it because I like Kevin Smith's movies.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much it for Kyle. What about you? What about you, Felicia? What do you got?
All right.
So
low point was being afraid I was going to be fired to no fault of my own, which is true. Resolution to that, not getting fired.
Hooray!
In fact, my work ethic is considered very well, and my knowledge is very well respected. So that's neat. Not getting fired. That's
as long as you're not Bob, because fuck Bob. I don't know if you have a Bob in your office. I'm just making a joke.
Oh, God.
Everybody's got a Bob in their office.
Everyone has a Bob in their office. I don't know, man. It's all bullshit. The whole thing is insane. It's been a really stressful week, and I'm tired. But the high point is going with the boyfriend and the kiddo up to Bear Lake.
I love Bear Lake.
It was beautiful, and got to wade in the water, and the kid like played in the sand, and he was all muddy. So the best part was when he had to go pee, and so William's gonna walk him out to the water. You know, he was pee in the water, right? Like you do.
I did that like 7 or 8 times last weekend.
Yeah, the kid was like, nope, no. So the kid dropped trout right at the shore, like right where the water is. Like, drops trout all the way and just pees, like in front of everyone. And nobody could stop laughing. And this kid thrives off an audience. He's like, yeah, it's funny, right? And I'm like, oh no. No. But also, yes, this is pretty funny.
That's great.
So, no, he was... Oh, that was a lot of fun, and he gave me lots of kisses, and he was very sweet. Both boys gave me lots of kisses.
Aww.
So. No, it was really fun. It was really nice.
Okay, so that's gonna. Oh, what? What? Nothing. Never mind.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm just about to end it. I thought you had something else to say. Sorry. I'm not even gonna edit this out. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. Just fuck it. Just do it. Super awesome. This is a real show. This is what real audio sounds like. So that does it for this week's episode. All of us are running off to go record the secret patron show, which is unfortunately Alveda King with Jim Bakker. I've got 2 more clips of that to share with these guys. But the good thing with that is that we're not going to have to show the video on that one. So we're going to be able to pause it and just shout at people all we want. So we make those. We're off to go record those that remain exclusive for our patrons for half a year before it's made available to the rest of the world. If you really want to hear what we're talking about, all it takes is $1 an episode. Otherwise, you have to go make do with the 6-month-old episodes on YouTube and our podcast feed at UtahOutcasts.com. Those that choose to join us beyond the veil by going to patreon.com/UtahOutcasts have many options available to them. And like the LDS Church, we have tiers of heaven for you guys to choose from, so just go check it out. It'll all make sense. We have reached our patron goal that I talked about there, and it got smashed last week, meaning that, yes, we will be recording a special patron-only show where we go over Ray Comfort's newest movie, The Atheist Illusion. And I've watched it. And it is a fucking stinker. And I feel dirty spending your money on it, patrons. Seriously. I'm going to be watching it like 3 or 4 more times.
Oh, you're making notes.
Yes, yep. I will be. That is what you do with MST3K. They make you think that they watched it they didn't watch it and they're just making this up on the fly.
Oh, no. Yeah, they've watched it a couple times.
So, yeah, so seriously, yuck. I mean, I love you guys, but fuck, man, that movie's bad. I mean, in the first 4 minutes, and I brought this up on, I think, Twitter or something like that, where I said, first 4 minutes and you have a, argument from design, where he's like, now look at this book that I gave you right here. Do you think that has anything, could that come from nothing? Could that not come from nothing? And it's like, oh no, he's really going to try to say, because we're more complex than books, how did we possibly end up being? And the quote-unquote atheists that he gets on this thing are just some of the most banal and unable to fight back atheists I've ever heard of in my life. So, it's a terrible movie. So, our next goal that we're close to reaching is only $4 away, where we will start giving away prizes with each month to a lucky commenter, emailer, or what have you. We'll be working on the details. Also, keep in mind that you can reach us at any time through our social media empire, through comments on YouTube, voicemail, text, email, all that fun stuff. So thanks to Felicia and Kyle for joining me once again this week. But sadly, this is the part where we must say to y'all that the Outcast will catch you again next week with a brand new episode. But until then, you're welcome.
Bonne nuit.
Good night, everybody.
She said the thing. She was here to say the
She
thing.
said the
Yay!
I said the thing.
Yay! See you guys next week.